My sister humiliated me at Christmas dinner, mocked my Target job in front of everyone, called me a failure. 3 weeks later, I caught her stealing on my security cameras. She had no idea her boring little sister worked loss prevention. Big mistake. Before we dive into this story of family betrayal and perfect revenge, hit that like button if you've ever been underestimated by someone who turned out to be a complete fraud. And subscribe, because karma isn't just real. Sometimes it wears a Target name tag. I should have known Christmas dinner would go exactly like this. I mean, it always did, right? Marlena, my older sister, had been the golden child our entire lives. Pretty, popular, charismatic in that effortless way that made everyone gravitate toward her. And now, at 22, she'd built herself into a full-blown TikTok star. 450,000 followers, brand deals, sponsorships, the whole influencer package. And me? I was just Hannah. 24 years old, working at Target, living in a modest apartment, driving a 10-year-old Honda. The disappointing younger sister who never quite measured up. But here's the thing. I didn't care about measuring up. I liked my life. I liked my job. I was good at it. And that Christmas, I'd actually been excited about the gifts I'd bought everyone. I'd saved up for weeks, hunting down thoughtful, meaningful presents for each family member. For Marlena, I'd found this absolutely beautiful handmade ceramic mug from a local artist. It was cream-colored with these delicate blue swirls, and I knew she'd love it because she was always filming her morning coffee routine for her followers. Every single morning, the same aesthetic shot of her hands wrapped around a mug. I'd thought this one would be perfect for her content. I was wrong about a lot of things that night. Christmas dinner at Mom and Dad's house, Martha and Arthur, started off normally enough. The usual small talk, the smell of ham and mashed potatoes filling the dining room, my nephew Dylan and niece Sydney running around with their new toys. Marlena's boyfriend Logan was there too, of course, phone perpetually in hand, ready to document every moment of his girlfriend's glamorous life. When it came time to exchange gifts, I handed Marlena the carefully wrapped box with genuine excitement. I'd even tied it with a ribbon that matched her aesthetic. Everything cream and blue and Instagram perfect. She opened it while Logan filmed naturally. Everything was content for her. "Oh, Hannah," she said, holding up the mug with this smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. The kind of smile that made my stomach drop even before she opened her mouth. "How quaint. Did you get this from the clearance section at Target?" I felt my face flush hot. "Actually, I got it from a local—" No, it's sweet," Marlena interrupted, setting the mug down on the table with this careless little gesture that somehow conveyed exactly how worthless she thought it was. "I mean, I know you can only afford so much on a Target salary, right? It's not like we all have successful careers." She laughed. Logan laughed with her, the camera still rolling. I could see Mom, Martha, opening her mouth to say something, to change the subject. But Marlena was on a roll now. "Seriously though, Hannah, when are you going to get a real job?" She leaned back in her chair, her perfectly manicured nails, fresh acrylics, probably $200, drumming on the table. "You're 24. I'm younger than you, and I make more in a month from sponsorships than you probably make all year scanning barcodes." She emphasized those last two, words like they were the punchline to a joke. Scanning. Barcodes. Dylan and Sydney, her kids, sat there watching their mother tear me down, learning by example what cruelty looked like dressed up as concern. I bit the inside of my cheek hard enough to taste blood. I forced myself to smile. My job's honest work, at least. The words came out before I could stop them, and for just a second, something flickered across Marlena's face. But then she rolled her eyes, this exaggerated gesture for Logan's camera. "Honest work," she repeated, like I'd said something hilarious. "So boring, Hannah. Anyway, babe, show them what you got me." Logan practically beamed, pulling out a designer handbag, Gucci, I think, with that unmistakable logo. Marlena held it up, turning it slowly, giving the camera every angle. "This is what success looks like, sis. Maybe one day, right?" I excused myself 20 minutes later, claiming I had an opening shift the next morning. As I grabbed my coat and headed for the door, I could hear Marlena's voice carrying through the house. "She's so sensitive. I was just joking. God, she can't take anything. I sat in my car for 10 minutes before I could trust myself to drive. My hands were shaking. Not from sadness, from pure crystalline rage, but also from something else. Humiliation. The kind that burrows under your skin and lives there. 3 weeks later, I was at work, doing my boring job. Except here's what Marlena didn't know, what she'd never bothered to ask about. I didn't work the registers anymore. 6 months earlier, I'd been promoted to loss prevention. Turns out I was really good at it. I had an eye for patterns, for inconsistencies, for the tiny details that most people missed. And part of my job was reviewing security footage from the self-checkout stations. We had cameras everywhere. Every angle, every transaction. And that Tuesday afternoon, I was scrolling through flagged transactions. Ones where the items scanned didn't match the weight sensors or the usual purchasing patterns when I saw her, a woman in designer sunglasses and an expensive-looking jacket. She was at the self-checkout, scanning items, bagging them. Nothing unusual at first, but something made me stop. Made me rewind. I watched the footage again. Slower this time. My entire body went cold. That was Marlena. I zoomed in, my fingers trembling on the mouse. Watched as she picked up an item, a nice sweater, probably $60, and then her hand dipped down below the scanner. When she brought her hand back up, she was holding something white. A piece of paper. A barcode. She scanned it. The cheap barcode. Then bagged the expensive sweater. She did it again. And again. Different items, same barcode. A designer candle. A set of towels. Beauty products. Home decor. I sat there, frozen, watching my TikTok star sister systematically steal approximately $500 worth of merchandise. And her phone was propped up on the little shelf by the payment screen, filming everything, recording her Target haul for her followers. The haul she was literally stealing. I couldn't breathe for a second. My perfect sister. My successful sister. The one who'd mocked my cheap gifts and my Target salary. She was a shoplifter, but I'm thorough. That's what makes me good at my job. So I went back further in the system, searching for other instances. Other times she might have been in the store. And there it was. 3 weeks prior. The day before Christmas, actually. Different outfit, same scam. But this time she wasn't alone. Logan was with her. And Dylan and Sydney, her kids, were literally standing right there, hanging onto the shopping cart, watching their mother steal. $500 that time, too. Maybe more. I made copies of everything. Every angle, every timestamp, every frame. Then I sat back in my chair in the loss prevention office and thought about Christmas dinner, about her laugh, about the way she'd dismissed my handmade gift like it was garbage, about the words. This is what success looks like. As loss prevention, I had a duty to report theft. It wasn't optional, but I also knew the protocol inside and out. We review footage, compile evidence, build an airtight case, identify the suspect through various means, and then contact police. Sometimes this process takes weeks. We're methodical. We don't rush. This time, I would be especially methodical. Over the next week, I documented everything with obsessive precision. Screenshots with timestamps, calculations of exact merchandise value. I cross-referenced the dates with Marlena's social media, and sure enough, there it was, her TikTok from the second theft. Posted 2 days after Christmas. New Year Target haul? The caption read, she was wearing the exact same outfit from the surveillance footage, showing off all her finds, giving her followers styling tips. 20,000 likes, hundreds of comments. Your aesthetic is everything. I need to go to Target more often. Goals. Teach me your secrets. Oh, I could teach them her secrets, all right. I followed every single procedure to the letter. I just took my time with it. A week to compile the evidence properly. Another few days to verify the suspect's identity through public social media, which was standard procedure when we didn't have a name attached to a face. Everything completely by the book. Every day during that time, I watched her TikTok. I watched her post her perfect morning routines with her expensive coffee. Probably stolen. Her afternoon shopping trips. Definitely stealing. Her evening vlogs with her beautiful, picture-perfect family, built on theft. The comments praised her. I envied her. I wanted to be her. Nobody knew the truth. Nobody except me. When I finally had my complete ironclad case, every piece of evidence documented, every procedure followed, every box checked, I made one decision that was personal, not professional. I would give Marlena a chance to hear it from me first, to understand what was coming. The report was ready. My manager had it. The wheels were already in motion. But I wanted her to know. I wanted her to know it was me. I called Mom, Martha, and suggested a family dinner at my apartment. I want to apologize to Marlena, I said, keeping my voice light. I think I was too sensitive at Christmas. I want to make it right. Martha sounded so relieved. Oh, honey, that would be wonderful. She didn't mean anything by it, you know. That's just how she jokes. Sure. Jokes. Marlena agreed to come. She probably thought I was going to grovel, apologize for being sensitive, maybe even ask for career advice, beg her to teach me how to be successful like her. I set the table nicely. Made a good dinner, nothing fancy, just pasta and salad, but I put in effort. Bought a decent bottle of wine with my honest Target paycheck. When Marlena arrived with Logan and the kids, she was already filming, of course. Family dinner at Hannah's place. She chirped to her phone, giving her followers that winning smile. My little sister wanted to reconnect. Character development. Am I right? How sweet is this? We ate, chatted. I complimented her recent videos. Asked about the kids. About her brand deals. Played the perfect reconciliation. Logan kept recording moments here and there, getting B-roll for her content. Marlena visibly relaxed, probably thinking she'd won. That I'd learned my place. Then over dessert. Tiramisu. Her favorite, I said. Marlena, I wanted to thank you for something. She looked up, surprised but pleased. Oh, what's that? You were right at Christmas. I did need to take my job more seriously. Pay attention to detail. I pulled out my phone, pulling up the folder I'd prepared. See, after Christmas, I really committed to my work. They actually promoted me. I'm in loss prevention now. I saw it. The tiny flicker of confusion in her eyes. But she kept smiling. Oh, that's great, Hannah. See? I knew you had it in you. Yeah, it's fascinating work, actually. I'm really good at it. Spotting patterns, noticing things other people miss. I turned my phone toward her, showing her the screenshot, the surveillance footage. Her at the self-checkout, frozen in the perfect moment. Hand holding the white barcode, an expensive item in the other hand. Every drop of color drained from her face. Hannah, that's not... It is, I said calmly. I felt weirdly calm, actually, like I was floating slightly outside my body, watching this happen. 2 separate incidents, actually. Different days, about $725 in total theft, all caught on our cameras. You know, those cameras watching the self-checkout stations you love so much. Logan had stopped recording. Dylan and Sydney were focused on their desserts, but the energy in the room had shifted so dramatically that even they felt it. Marlena tried to speak, but I held up my hand. I've already compiled the full report. Everything by the book. My manager, Gerald, has it. It's being processed right now. The police will probably be at your door within 24 to 48 hours to make an arrest. Hannah, please? Her voice cracked. Actual tears were forming in her eyes. Not the pretty, photogenic kind. The ugly, desperate kind. Listen to me carefully, I continued. When you get arrested, and you will, what happens next is partly up to you. You can fight it, deny everything, make it worse. Or you can take responsibility, pay everything back immediately, confess publicly, show real remorse. That matters to prosecutors. She was shaking. Logan had his hand on her shoulder, looking between us like he couldn't quite process what was happening. Your prior arrests. Walmart in 2023. Your friend's car in 2019, combined with these 2 incidents? That's felony territory in Florida, Marlena. Your kids are going to see you get arrested. Your 450,000 followers are going to see your mugshot. That's happening. Whether you do jail time or probation depends on what you do in the next 24 hours. You can't do this to me, she whispered. I already did my job. The report is filed. This is me, your sister, telling you how to minimize the damage. I looked at her straight on. When the police show up, and they will, you better have already posted that confession video and paid Target back every penny, including a public apology to me for mocking my boring Target job, the job that caught you. They left 5 minutes later. Marlena was crying. Logan was silent, probably trying to figure out if his influencer girlfriend's arrest would hurt or help his own follower count. The kids looked confused. I cleaned up the dishes and went to bed. That night, Marlena tried everything. Mom called me at 11 p.m. crying, begging me to work this out as a family. I told her gently but firmly that this wasn't a family matter anymore. It was a legal one. Jordan Dad called at midnight with the same plea. I gave him the same answer. At 2 a.m, Logan texted me threats. Something about defamation, about ruining Marlena's career, about how I was jealous and always had been. I didn't respond. At 2:30, Marlena showed up at my apartment banging on the door. I looked through the peephole, saw her mascara-stained face, her desperate expression, and I didn't open the door. Just called through it. Go home, Marlena. Post the video. Pay Target back. That's your only move here. The next morning at 9 a.m., before she could post anything, there was a knock on Marlena's door. I wasn't there, but I heard about it. Saw the body cam footage later that Gerald shared with me, since I was the LP officer who'd filed the report. 2 officers, I recognized Officer Judy Martinez and Officer Randy from previous cases, stood at her door with an arrest warrant. My manager had submitted the report first thing that morning, and given Marlena's prior arrests, the police had acted fast. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to put your hands behind your back," Officer Martinez said. Marlena was holding her phone, for once not filming, just holding it like a lifeline. "Wait, don't do this. This is a mistake. Sydney, call my dad." She was talking to Sydney, her daughter, who was standing in the doorway in her pajamas. "Call my lawyer now." Logan stood there, frozen, as they put Marlena in handcuffs, in front of her children, exactly like I'd told her would happen. They took her to the station, processed her, took her mugshot. No filter, no good lighting, no makeup touch-ups. Just Marlena looking scared and tired and small. Nothing like her TikTok self. She was released on bail that afternoon, and by evening, the arrest had made the local news. Local TikTok influencer arrested for Target theft. Her mugshot was already circulating online. That evening, still shaking from the arrest, Marlena posted the video. It was 7 minutes long. 7 minutes of raw, unfiltered confession. No ring light, no aesthetic background, no careful color grading. Just Marlena with red, swollen eyes and a shaking voice sitting on her bedroom floor. She confessed everything. The barcode scam, the stolen merchandise, the lies, 2 separate thefts. Over $1,000 combined when you added in what she hadn't even posted about. She held up receipts showing she'd paid Target back $725, plus $300 extra as an apology. Her lawyer, she said, had advised her to do it immediately after her arrest. And then she said it, the part I'd demanded. "I owe the biggest apology to my sister Hannah, who works harder in one honest day at Target than I've worked in years of faking my lifestyle online. Hannah, I'm so sorry for mocking your job, for mocking your gift, for everything I said at Christmas. You were right. Honest work matters." Her voice cracked. "I got arrested in front of my children today. This is where my choices led me. I'm taking a break from social media to figure out who I want to be. Someone my kids can actually be proud of." The video went viral, but not in the way she'd hoped. Not in the way any of her content ever had. People posted side-by-side comparisons, her glamorous haul videos next to her mugshot, her morning coffee routines next to screenshots of the surveillance footage. Her lifestyle brand crumbled in real time. Within 48 hours, she'd lost 200,000 followers. Every single sponsor dropped her. Fashion Nova, HelloFresh, all of them. Gone. The comments were brutal, savage. Her mugshot became a meme, when the aesthetic is theft. But her confession did help legally. When she went to court 3 weeks later, the prosecutor, Janice Morrison, I learned later, noted her immediate cooperation, her public confession, and her full restitution. Offered a deal, 2 years probation, 100 hours of community service, mandatory theft counseling, and a permanent ban from all Target stores nationwide. Marlena took it. No jail time, but the humiliation, the loss of her career, her reputation, that was punishment enough. 3 months later, my phone rang. Marlena's name on the screen. Not a text, an actual call. I almost didn't answer, but I did. "I got a job," she said quietly. No preamble. "At a boutique. Retail. Real, honest retail." "That's good," I said. I'm sorry, Hannah. Really sorry. Not just because I got caught. I'm sorry for who I was, for how I treated you. You didn't deserve any of that. I looked at the handmade mug sitting on my desk, the one she'd mocked. I'd kept it after all. It held my coffee every morning. Perfectly. I know, I said finally. Want to come over for dinner next week? Just us, no cameras. She laughed. A real laugh, not a performance. I'd really like that. After we hung up, I sat there for a while thinking about revenge. About justice. About family. Sometimes revenge isn't about destroying someone. It's about holding up a mirror and forcing them to see the truth they were too blind, too arrogant to see on their own. And sometimes, if you're lucky, they actually learn from it. My boring Target job didn't just catch a thief. It taught my sister what success actually looks like. And it's not a designer handbag. It's being able to look at yourself in the mirror or on a security camera and not feel ashamed. Marlena lost her influencer career, her followers, and her fake lifestyle. But she gained something more valuable: accountability. Hannah didn't just get revenge. She got justice. And in the end, she got her sister back. The real one, not the filtered, fraudulent version. So what do you think? Was Hannah right to turn in her own sister? Or should family loyalty have come first? Drop your thoughts in the comments. But honestly, what breaks my heart most about this story isn't just the theft. It's the 450,000 followers who watched Marlena's perfect life every day. Regular people working honest jobs, scrolling through her content, feeling inadequate, wondering why their life wasn't as perfect. They're comparing themselves to a complete lie, feeling devastated because they can't keep up with a lifestyle that was literally stolen. These influencers show fake perfection, and real people sit there feeling broken, feeling like they're not enough. That's the real crime here. If you're tired of fake success culture that makes genuine people feel worthless, hit that subscribe button, because sometimes the boring job is exactly where justice lives. Thanks for watching, and remember, the cameras are always watching, but so is karma.